what I do. So fellas, contacting her will only work if you do it a certain way. I want to switch up things today for you guys because I do no contact nearly every other week. No, well, every 2 weeks. Let's be more realistic. Anyways, doesn't really matter. Y'all ask for it all the time. And maybe in my next following videos, what I'll do is like some of the questions that you guys sent in, I'll read and then maybe answer to switch it up. And then I'll also still drop regular videos like this. And so this one is specifically down to how can you make it improve? How could you make no contact work so much better for you? Okay, so give this video a big thumbs up, fellas, if you haven't already. And fellas, are y'all ready for me to talk? Yes, we could talk though if you book your consultation by clicking that link down below. And one last thing, fellas, y'all, I have a Patreon account that has a whole lot of videos you will not see on here. Okay, so let's get to the actual discussion. No contact, if you're capping to yourself, my favorite current word this month, I would say, the capping, all right? If you're capping to yourself and saying you're doing it proper by still watching your stories, by showing up to the family function or those events has a mutual friends, if you think you're doing yourself a huge, I want to say huge first. If you think you're doing yourself a huge favor, you're not. Because no contact is exactly not working, and it could only work if you do it like this, by actually having absolutely no contact. So a lot of times what's actually happening with a lot of fellas is, unfortunately, is that y'all are thinking, I'm fully not having access to her and she has no access to me. But the reality is that you have to cut all ties completely. And the only reason why a lot of you fellas are not even trying to cut all those ties is down to the fact that you actually still want her. You still want more access. You still need access. So it's not down to, well, you know, she's the one that's actually going to want to see more of me. No, it's down to you fellas actually can't help yourself, but actually stay in her life. Y'all need to have a piece of it or know what's going on. And so this is why it's so important for you to move how women move, because even when, and this is how women got smart in the modern day, even when they are emotional by nature and feel like they want to see you, or you know what, I want to reach out, they still can have it in them to say, oh no, I'm not going to do it. Now, of course, ego and pride makes it easier for women, and obviously having their selections waiting, right? No options on deck. Of course, all that makes a lot of women have it so much like a breeze. And hey, no contact could be like, oh, well, in this time that I do no contact, I'll just be with the other guy. And so no contact is easier, right? And it gets like that. But it doesn't really matter for her if you're doing that exact same thing, because women, like I said, they are just outsmarting the system. That's really down to it. And unfortunately, it is a system because it's a game that's played, and we won't say women created it, but y'all are participating in it and helping. So it could go both ways almost. But back to her, this game that women are playing when it comes down to, okay, well, this no contact will be easier for me because I do not reach out to you. If I have another guy in the meantime, I won't need to reach out to you. If I could go and replace you, I won't want to. Now, yes, for you guys, it won't be exactly those words. It'll be more so, well, I have to go get distracted. I have to go put in more work, or I have to make my money longer and this and that. All this stuff that is not that fun sometimes. But you have to change that to want to be the reason why you end up getting her at the end. Not that she is your end goal, but because you are so motivated and you have to prove her wrong, and it's not because you're trying to, but it's like, well, you really think that? I could show you otherwise. And so with no contact, if you could hold yourself like women can do it so powerfully and be selective when they want to show the feelings, when want to be around you, when she actually wants to be around you, she'll be around you. When y'all could do the exact same types of things, you'll have no contact work even longer, or basically, let's say this, just work in general. So I'm saying this for you guys to really get it. How women will go months, whatever, maybe you could just say weeks, whatever, without talking to this guy, and still when he comes back around, or when she, let's say she's ready to talk to him, how she could still be ready to go, there is no problems, no contact didn't impact her, is down to the facts of, okay, she took care of herself in the time where she was able to, but when she was able to take care of herself, she was able to hold back to get her to this time of this guy wanting or still having interest in her. So the point is that if she would have, and this is what a lot of fellas do, would have tried to go and reach out because he can't actually have full actual no access. If she would have though went and reached out because she really misses the D and types of stuff like that, you know, then that breaks the no contact. And that also shows a fella, oh wow, you know what, she actually does want me a little bit more. Or yeah, you giving it to her obviously is a lot more for her to want more of you. So at the end, instead of cutting it short, and this is what a lot of you guys do, is sabotage your no contact. You end up, you know, basically ruin it, right, for yourself. And instead of you guys ruining no contact, having it end so short, as in she'll never actually want to see you again from you ruining it, and maybe multiple times, instead of doing that, you keep this going on no matter what. So avoiding her, staying away from her, being on the opposite side. If you run into her somehow, which shouldn't be happening, but if you run into her where it's like school, you know, sometimes I know you guys work together, co-workers type of thing. If you run into her somehow, you still are avoiding her and walking the opposite way. Now, sometimes some guys are so serious where they're not going to have no access, not to lose your job or quit your job because of her, but they're going to try to find a way to be working on the other side. If it's the desk, it's going to be the other side. I'm going to the other corner somehow. I'm finding a new desk. If it's, you know, let's just say fast food. If you guys work at a restaurant or something like that, it means, okay, well, you know, whoever the manager is, if you're not the manager, you know what, keep me on this side. I gotta be on this side, right? And sometimes, hopefully you work at a place or you have a situation that makes sense, but sometimes you can find ways to help. So for example, if you're trying to have no contact really work, you would tell your manager, you know what, me and this person are not really on good terms, and I just rather be on this side. And I know sometimes also putting your business out there or getting other people involved can be a high risk to having it be worse or something building up, but also it's better to take that risk than having the worst risk of being around her, of actually having her really realize, well, this guy is still obsessed with me, or you know what, he still has feelings. So yes, go ahead and do the things that is going to make you uncomfortable. You know, the things that are going to go against your feelings, feeling like, you know, well, I don't want to do this because, well, if I do it, she's going to think this of me. And you know what, if I do it, she's not going to actually regret losing me. And she's just going to think that, you know, she should never come back around me. Who cares? Obviously, let's just start off with that. Who cares? Because clearly you caring so much is the reason why she does not actually at all want to reach out. And regretting losing you will not be nothing that comes around, or coming back to you will not be something that will be in her mind, because she doesn't want to see you. You care way too much, and you have to stop. When a man is at a point of a breaking point, you know, it's still not at a breaking point in the modern day though. But when a man is really at a breaking point, he should be able to walk away. But unfortunately, for a lot of fellas to walk away and do no contact for a long period of time, and I say long period because for you guys, just not talking to her for a few days is a long time. So for you guys to do no contact for a long period of time, it's a huge problem. Now, how could you make this easier for you guys? Go see other women. I didn't say nothing about that in this video, but that's a huge way. Get distracted. I just recently talked about having hobbies, growing hobbies, finding things that you like, adventuring off on your own, finding other women that, you know what, have better potential. You know, sometimes, and I know looks is important, but sometimes you have to stop looking straight for her beauty and going to her beauty, because sometimes y'all get so hooked, and that's the reason why you're still stuck on not being able to do no contact. The second she posts those pictures, the second you see her beautiful face, the second you go to school every day, it's like you're stuck. You're stuck on, oh, well, I got to talk to her one last time at least. Or let me say this can fix the situation. Who cares? Once again, you will not be able to succeed, get to that point of actually having women, you see the value, recognize you and all that, when you do care. And it's going to actually just be down to this fact of, how is results happening? You're constantly thinking of, how could I now get her to be more upset? How could I get her to now notice you? You guys get that when you go and put in work, for example, in the gym, and your results show over time. Is that not enough for her to notice you? Do you guys get that? That is valuable. That is physical. That is there, masculine, a whole bunch of stuff that she likes, that she wants to see. Y'all got to get that. That is the case. And so it's enough for her to want to reach out and have no contact work completely. But it's not going to be enough when you guys are still half-assing it or trying to make it basically work quicker, or you know what, I can't make it last this long because I just can't hold it in. I have to say this, or I just want to try for a few days. No. And lastly, the thing is you're weak at that point. Because if you can't do it, starting from that, it's just she has the best of your emotions. But the other thing is, why do you think? Honestly, answer this. Why do you think you should really get her? Because if you can't hold yourself in those aspects or those areas to actually be strong enough and do what you got to do, fulfill this purpose in life, if you cannot do that, if you think you should be able to get her, then you got to think again, because you getting her, she will not stay around because you're not valuable enough to keep her. And it's starting from, okay, yes, in the modern day, but starting from yourself. As a man, you should be able to do this because you have the strength to hold yourself back. You have it in you to say, well, I'm a leader. I should wear the pants from the relationship. And so how could I make this be known? How could I show that this is the man I am and I want a woman that is going to do this, or I like this, or this is how I expect things to be? How could you do that? And there's no other way when you show the value by giving more time, by dedicating your time to what's going to improve you to be who she would like you to be, who she wants you to be. So, sometimes with the things that she might say that's so negative, the things that she might throw at you, the things that is like, okay, well, putting you down, those are the things that you got to take as the signs of why maybe she's not giving you so much contact. Maybe she's not really feeling you. But you see, also, when you get on those things, you'll see why it exactly is the reason why she left you. And it was clear that was the reason, because now she's back because you fixed it. So in other words, if you get that, okay, there is a problem in this area. You are weak in this area. You don't have strength like a masculine man in this area. You actually have to reach out. If you understand the problem and you do something about it, then you'll see that she starts acting differently. And then there's all those little other things of when you are actually spending time apart, it impacts her. Curiosity, yes. Not knowing, all those other things are as relevant. We're not really going to go into details. You hear me talk about it, but you see all those little things add up to get her to just blow up into wanting to reach out, to getting to the point of breaking no contact with you. It happens all the time, fellas. Women really just cannot help themselves when it gets to a point of you're doing so well. And you're doing so well with not only not contacting back, but on the other side where she can't get involved, she can't be a part of your life no longer. On that other side, it is beautiful. It is, once again, greener. And so that's the whole idea of her not knowing, your potential, or not knowing that you're really about it. But unfortunately, this is the sad truth of how we got to close out the video. The truth is that some of that potential a lot of you fellas have in you, or what you could actually reach, I'm being real with y'all. You'll never ever reach it because that one woman, she's there to distract you. Y'all know Jezebel does her thing. She is there to get on you. She is there to make sure that you don't reach your purpose. She is there to be lustful. She is there to make you go all types of crazy and spend a whole lot of bags and bags and bags. Yes, after bags. Buyer bags, matter of fact. So it's going to be a whole lot of that forever. And you're always going to be stuck in one of my favorite words to say cycle. And my other favorite word to say circle, because it's kind of the same thing anyways. But you're always going to be stuck like this. And the center of attention, the woman that has you hooked, is that one woman you want. But instead, and this is a bad example, but, it's like I think it's called the hamster wheel. Yeah, the one that just keeps going when the hamster's just running on it. That's what it's like when you're just so stuck on her. And when you try to do no contact over and over and over again, and thinking that it's going to work at the end, knowing that you are stuck, and the only way you can get out of that is by removing yourself, as a hamster would if it is capable of. After the hamster is done with the hamster wheel, when it's tired, maybe it could just get slumped and fall asleep there, but chances are it's going to get off. So are you guys tired? A lot of you guys are not tired. And then for some of you guys that are tired, y'all, for the hamsters out there that are lazy, y'all decided to just stay in that hamster wheel and just sleep. Sleep the pain away. Just rest. I just need some rest. I just need a break. Take that break to really say, I need a real break from her that would change my life. That's how you have to look at it. Y'all got to get tired at some point, because it's going to be tiring no matter what, and you're going to stay exhausted. So it's like you're gonna have to realize that it's not gonna get better, happier days, wanting more smiles, all that good stuff that y'all are thinking about. Y'all gotta get that is out of the picture. When you're running this hamster wheel with this woman, you're gonna stay in this cycle, this circle forever until you remove yourself. And so the same thing with no contact. When you remove yourself, you're completely having to do it yourself, and you have to actually do it in order to not be tired no more, in order to want different. And then that's the reason why it ends up working at the end as well. And take it like this. Some women also, just the idea of you not wanting her no more is enough for her to want you. But you see, just all those little things, once again, it literally impacts the whole idea at the end of her coming back. The idea of her actually seeing why she should have never actually went. And that no contact is too much for her to handle. Now, I'm going to say this. What happens when she comes back? You gotta ask yourself that, because this will actually happen when you do no contact correctly. Okay, so that will be, maybe something we can talk about in a different video, but also just something you could take to yourself to ask yourself, right? Because if you really believe that she's gonna come back, if you see your value in yourself like that, then she is gonna come back. Okay, so I thank you guys so much for watching, especially until the end. If you did not though give this video a big thumbs up, go ahead and do that, and give this video a major double thumbs up if you haven't. Okay, I just had to say it 2-3 times. I didn't really mean to, but I did say it. So go do that. And fellas, one last thing. Like I told you guys, I do have that Patreon, and I do have that lube. Okay, so get the link, click the links. I'm messing up. Click the links down below, and y'all get started today. Book your consultations, and bye, y'all.